Hello everyone, welcome to BIM Model. This is Raj. In this video tutorial, you will be learning how to create a space tag and store zone. So what is the space means? So space is a function in a subcomponent of thermal zones. So it is in a simple manner, the space which contains the properties of electrical and HVACs. So it may be a lighting available in the room. It will contain how much light it will be available in this particular space, and it may also contain the energy details, HVAC energy details, maybe airflow to the room, or how much supply air it is there, how much return air is there. So those property will be filled inside the spaces. In Revit, if you see that there are n number of properties available related to the space, you can select and you will be able to notice it. What is a zone? Zone, it may be nothing but a single space or combined with multiple spaces together, they will be called as a zone. We can create our own zone by combining multiple spaces. It's possible. So basically the zone will be controlled by using a single thermostat, and they will have a single equipment. For example, in a classroom, you will have in a college, you will have a number of classrooms. The classroom may have a simple properties. For example, each classroom will have a 60 number of students or 50 number of students, and they will have one projector, they will have one TV, they will have one air conditioner. Like this, the properties are similar to the classroom. In that case, the the zone, we can combine all the classroom into a single zone in a single floor. The property must be similar, then we can combine them as a zone. With that, let's going to the Revit. So I'm starting with the previous tutorials file. In this file, we have already linked the architecture model, and we have grids and levels monitored, copy and monitoring is done. And before discussing any space and zone elements, you have to understand that each architectural model, they will have rooms. In architecture, they used to call them as a room. In mechanical or electrical MEP services model, we used to call them as space. The room element by default in architecture, it is hidden using visibility graphics. We are in mechanical 1. So visibility graphics property in this place, click this edit and scroll down to room is R. You see that it is disabled. You can enable the visibility of the element. Now if you go nearby any wall and use the tab key, you will be able to highlight Revit linked element room. After highlighting, you will be able to select them, and you will be able to see their property. It is room, and it is placed in a particular floor and their area, and you will be able to see their number, name. By this, you understand that there is a room element which is present in this model. Similarly, for a MEP model, you have to place some space element for your rooms. So I'll turn off the visibility again by using Ctrl Z. I'll go back to the previous stage. I don't want to visible elements of rooms. After that, you can go to the Analysis tab. Under Analysis tab, you will be able to see this particular panel, which is Space and Zones. Space, you can take them, and if you are trying to place them, you can see them will not be able to place. If you are trying to click them, you will get this error, space not in properly enclosed region. In that case, so the problem is, as of now, the Revit architecture model is a single element. It does not understand walls or floors or ceilings with the Revit. You have to select the linked model and go to the edit type of that linked model. You have to click this room bounding option enabled, so that Revit automatically understands the boundary of the room. Click OK. Once it is done, come back to the Revit and see that the placed rooms automatically will be enclosed with the walls like this. You have to have the ceiling and floor, so automatically it will be placed. If you see the property, the base level will be level 1. The upper level will be automatically constrained as level 1 and the height of that room is 4000. If you want to see them clearly, you can create a section view along the axis. Double click on the head, and now if you see that the room which is created 4000 height from the level 1. I used to do that as level 1 to level 2 like that, and we don't need any height from the level 2. See, if I apply that, again it will go beyond level 2 4000. I don't want it to go 4000. I want to constrain till level 1 to level 2. Similarly, you will be able to place them in all the places. You can place wherever you need like this. Continuously you will be able to place. Using the tag and placement, you are placing the tags along with the elements that you are placing the rooms. If you turn off this, you will not be able to see the tags and you will not be able to understand the room name. With the tag, you will be able to understand their space and numbers. It may take long time to place if you have hundreds of rooms in your file, each floor. It is important to set the constraint before placing the element, and I don't need any offset value. I can make this as 0. After that, you will be able to use place space automatically. The space will be placed all the enclosed spaces in the first floor, only in first floor, and it will be not in the second floors. The space tag which is placed only on the mechanical one, not on any other levels. If you see on the lighting, you will have the space, but you don't have any space tags. You can use any of the copy to clipboard methods and paste them here. As of now, we are not doing that. We'll be doing that later. Now, if you go to section view, now if you see that each room which contains the spaces, and it will be easy for us to understand it clearly. The next thing is that let's consider in this space, we don't understand what is the name of the space. Select the space, and there are other properties which is related to electrical. As we discussed earlier, the space will contain as properties of electrical and HVACs and room geometry elements. If you want to change their name, you can scroll down further and you will be able to understand that there is a room number which is from the architecture and room name. And we have to assign the same name here so that architecture and MEP people will understand each other. They will be able to communicate properly. We have to rename this as 115 room number, and you can say instruction. The names will be renamed automatically in this place. Similarly, you have to do it for the other rooms also. In this way, it will be very tough for us, and there are some add-ins, or you can use the Dynamo scripting options, which I have already created one script, and I'll be using that script automatically renaming the floor plans rooms from the space names. Automatically the names will be renamed. There are many scripts I have. If you see that in this place, room name to space name, I can play this button. So it will take some time to run it and to be completed. You see that now all the rooms are renamed with the similar names which is in the architecture. In a similar fashion, you can go to the level 2, which is 2 mechanical, analysis, phase, and you can constrain them from level 2 to level 3, and offset height will be 0 because we are placing from between the level 2 to level 3. Place space automatically. Now all the spaces are placed. If you need, again you can rename the each spaces as per your requirement. Coming to the second option, space separator. For example, in this area, instruction room, we want to split this room as a two portion. One is instruction area, the other one is experiment area. You can use this space separator. We don't have any physical wall in this place, but as per our discussion and design, we have to have a partition between these two, and we have to naming them two different ways. We are not creating any walls here, but it will be act as a separation between these two spaces. Now if you see that this particular space will be automatically moved based on the origin of the room, and we have to create another one space in this place. As per architecture, we don't have anything like this, but for MEP purpose or any other purpose, we can split it and rename it based on our requirement. For example, this will be experiment. And the room name must be a unique name. If you are trying to give the same name, it will give us the error. So we can keep this as 115A. If you want to show the area of the room, architecture, most of the people use it, and for MEP as of now we don't need it. If you want to show it, select the tag, not the room, tag, edit type. You will be able to use this option, text show area or show volume option, and click OK. Now all the room tags will be shown with areas. If you don't need it, turn it off to the previous version. So like this way, you can do it in all the other rooms. You can go to the lighting floor plan or any other floor plan, which is level 1. We have placed the spaces already. You can see that there is no tags which is available. You can use the space tag and you can place them wherever you need inside the space, and it will automatically tag. The text will be placed. Or you can use one of the copy method or paste method from the previous tutorial and paste copy from this mechanical 1 or 2, and copy all the elements and paste it to the lighting level elements on plumbing levels elements wherever you need it. The next thing is that once we have decided that spacing names are done, so as I mentioned, you can see that there is a spacing name option which is from Revit 2020 option is available from the architectural to MEP. So from the previous version we don't have the option. If you are using previous versions, you can use the Dynamo script to rename automatically. If you are using the newest version, you can use this spacing name option. Automatically room name will become space names. The names and numbers for the level 1 and 2. Okay. So as based on the there are two instructions we have splitted, so it's become instruction 1 and instruction 2. The numbers become 115.1 and 115.2 as simple it is. This will be useful tool based on the Dynamo users creator. They have created a new tool like this. This is time to create a zone. So for example, we may have different zones. For example, this space, two different spaces. We want to create this as a single zone. We want to control with the same thermostat. We can create a zone. Before understanding the zone, we have to understand what is system browser do with the zones. Go to the view, user interface, system browser. By default, you will be in the system. If you want it, you can change that into zone. By default in Revit, you'll have only one zone. All the space, all the space will be included in that zone, particular zone, default zone. If you open that, you'll be able to understand there are n number of spaces that we created in the first floor and the second floor. So these spaces will have, each one will have their unique properties. You can select them and highlight them in the model. It's possible like this, and even you will be able to add the columns here and stretch, and you can see their properties. But at the moment we want to create a new zone by using analysis zones. You have selected first one, so automatically it creates the zone here like this. You can select it and you will be able to see that edit zone option, and you will be able to click this add space. You can click the next one. Under the one zone, you will be able to see the instruction. Now finish this. If you want to highlight the zone again, and if you see that while hovering the mouse, you will be able to see a line between the two spaces. Select it. You are selecting the zone. Now you will be able to edit it again. In a similar way, you will be able to select multiple spaces. As I mentioned earlier, the space must have a same properties, areas and number of people, occupations must be the same, and for this, these things will be example purpose. We don't have any particular reason to connect it, so they may have a different properties. We have to keep them as a different zones. In this case, analysis, I'm creating a zone. So whatever the number of zone room space you have selected, automatically it will create the zones. You can name them. If you see the property after selection, you can name them based on your requirement. Zone 3. So in that case, you will have only one thermostat which will be present in this room or other room to control their property or control their airflow and the cooling rating automatically by using that one thermostat. You'll have one remote to control the AC. Automatically the same airflow will be maintained both the rooms. Similarly, in that way, you will be able to create the number of zones as per your requirement. So the person who is designing, they know it well, what are the numbers you need. So it will be very hard for understanding as, so how many spaces are there, how many are there as conference, how many are there classroom. So there are options under the drop down in this place, color scheme. Using this color scheme, you will be able to differentiate the places based on the area or based on their purpose, department, or anything, any property that you want to differentiate. Click the color space and you will be able to define your color space in this place based on their property. For example, in this case, by default, it says schema 1. I will rename this as name. Based on the name, we are going to assign the colors. Click OK, and we have to assign the color scheme in this place. I'm not selected anything that time. Scroll down here, color scheme. You have to change that into name. Based on the name, we are assigning the color space. If you see that the colors are assigned on the spaces based on their name. We don't have any unique, all the spaces are unique names, so we will be having a different names along the spaces. To show their legend, you see in this place color fill legend. You can take the legend, place them on the right side wherever you need it, and if you see the name based on the colors, you will be able to understand. You can select the legend, you will be able to edit the scheme, or you can go to this property of the view and you can edit the color scheme like this. You can duplicate the existing one Based on the area, you can create another color scheme and select area, click OK. So you will be able to define it based on the area, what are the colors you want to appear. You can change their patterns or colors as per user defined value. It is possible. These all are value based. If you want to define them as a area based by range based, you can do them by changing this option. You can add another row, and you will be able to change their value like this. For example, 1 from 5 to this place, and you can rename this as 15. So as per your requirement, you will be able to define your area requirements ranges and select OK. Now if you see that it's calculating and it's creating the colorful legends as per our requirement. That's it for this tutorial. I hope this tutorial helped you to create these spaces. I have the same files in the our website. You will be able to download and practice them, and make sure that you are creating it for all the floors and start with the next tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Share it with your learning friends. See you on the next tutorial.